I would now like to explain some of the new features we are currently working on. The first is the instant on feature of the feeders and lights. This feature allows the operator to immediately turn on the output relay and have it shut off after the time has expired. The way it works is the operator sets the hours, minutes, and seconds that he wants the system to run. And as soon as he presses the enter key, the timer starts counting down. Once it reaches 0, the relay is turned off and the feed system returns to the normal run schedules. This comes in handy when the feeders fail to fill during the regular schedule due to things like the bin running empty or the feed hanging up in the bin. The operator can fix this problem, set the instant on timer, walk away knowing the system will shut off when finished. This feature will be in the Ventra Pro, the Ventra, and the Gain Track controllers. The second feature I want to talk about is the new variable heater and variable Bruder devices which were added to the Ventra Pro. These were developed to control the new LB White variable heating devices directly from the Ventra Pro instead of using their Smart Sense boxes. To use one of these devices, one of the new 0 to 10 volt analog output relay boards will have to be installed in the Ventra Pro. These boards act just like an expansion station to the Ventra Pro, will be mounted inside the Ventra Pro box, and provide 12 0 to 10 volt output channels to the system. Unlike normal heaters, which turn on and off at a set output volume when heat is needed, the variable heating devices run almost continuously, constantly changing the gas valve opening to regulate the amount of heat output as needed in order to maintain the room at the target temperature. When installing a variable device, it is installed to a standard output relay just like a standard heater is. When installed, this relay will turn the heater on and off. Once installed, the first thing to be done is to configure the gas regulator's output channel, which would be off the analog board at one of the 0 to 10 volt channels. Once you do this, then the remaining menus are available for the heaters. As you can see, some of these menus are just like the regular heaters, but some are different. The minimum and maximum values are the BTUs that these heaters are regulated at. For the biggest heater the LB White has, the minimum is 110 and the maximum is 250,000 BTUs. Setting these values does a couple of things. One, it is used to rough estimate of the fuel used while the system is running, and also to determine what the average BTU is per hour for the history records and what the current BTU is for when the system is running. When setting these temperatures for this heaters, you do not set an on and off temperature. You now set a target temperature, which is where you want the heater to maintain the temperature. As the temperature gets to this degrees, it'll slowly regulate the gas valve to try to maintain it. When it's below that temperature, it'll increase the output of the heater. When it's above that temperature, it'll decrease the amount of that heater. We also provide an alarm where if the heater is on at maximum for a set amount of time, it will provide a way to notify the user that most likely something is wrong with the heater, because it should never run at full output for a long period of time. You can also set whether you want to shut the heater off when it does alarm. Some of the features that you'll see with this thing is when you go to the current status, the equipment status, and you page down to these heaters, you can see what the heater is running at. This is the second heater I set up, and right now it's running at 110. Okay, BTUs. The same is available for history. When you scroll down to the history for the heaters, it will normally show you how much runtime it's had, plus the average BTUs that it used during that full hour of runtime. This logic has been coded and has been tested in a lab, but is waiting on a release until we can find a site with these heaters so we can do some field testing and verify that we've got everything correct. The other feature we are working on is the variable lights for use with the 0 to 10 volt analog output board. This feature is still in the early stages of development, but it should act similar to the way the Horizon works with their light spikes and turning the lights on at different levels, etc.